Hey Sneak Peekers! I'm Melody.
And I'm Sophia.
Tonight we'll take a look at some of the most notable movie releases in November.
To start off, Shez is here with her thoughts on The Holdovers, the new film starring Paul Giamatti as a cranky teacher at a boarding school is forced to bond over the holidays with a troubled student.
After that, Simi and Samia are here to duke it out as they determine once and for all who deserves to be king of playing the king.
They'll decide whether Jacob Elordi's performance in Priscilla can dethrone Austin Butler's as cinema's best Elvis.
Speaking of movies starring Jacob Elordi, we also have a special sit-down interview where Sydney spoke with Emerald Fennell, the writer and director of Saltburn.
And to wrap up the night, Sydney, AK, Trinity, and Carol are here to discuss their thoughts on the Hunger Games films before the release of the Ballad of Snakes and Songbirds this Friday.
Stick around to find out which movies you should see this fall on this episode of Sneak Peek.
We'll be right back. We have some fantastic news to share today, Sneak Peekers.
That's right, Sophia. On Wednesday, SAG-AFTRA reached a tentative agreement with the AMPTP, officially ending the 118-day actors' strike. Here's what's included in the agreement.
Actors will see a 7% wage increase, while background actors will get an 11% increase on minimums.
Productions that use AI must have clear consent from actors to use their likeness and must pay the actors for using AI, among other protections.
And performers will receive streaming bonuses along with the residuals.
Agreement terms also included equity and inclusion improvements, guidelines for self-taped auditions, and sexual harassment prevention measures that strongly encourage intimacy coordinators on set and require them upon an actor's request.
With both the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes over, movies and shows can resume production. I'm so excited to see what's in store.
Same here. Hopefully, we'll see better business decisions across the board.
Speaking of which, Warner Bros. Just retracted their decision Monday to scrap the completed movie Coyote vs. Acme after backlash from filmmakers and fans.
Coyote vs. Acme follows Wile E. Coyote and an attorney as they sue the fictional company Acme for defective devices that foil Coyote's plans to kill Roadrunner. The Roger Rabbit-style movie cost $72 million to make.
Instead of including the movie as a tax write-off, Warner Bros. Will screen the movie to potential buyers.
In other news, Grammy nominees were announced Friday with the ceremony to take place this February. While we mostly cover movies and TV here, there were some notable nominees.
That's right. Songs from the Barbie soundtrack like Dance the Night, What Was I Made For, and Barbie World got nominated for multiple categories, including Song of the Year.
Personally, I'm happy to see Aurora from Daisy Jones and the Six be nominated for Best Compilation Soundtrack. How about you, Sophia?
Oh, I love that Boy Genius got nominated for Best Record and Best Album. You should watch their performance at Saturday Night Live last week if you haven't seen it.
I'll be sure to check it out. That's all the news we have for today.
And now here's Shez with a review of the new holiday movie, The Holdovers.
Take it away, Shez.
Hey Sneak Peekers, I'm Shazan, and I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get this stupid Thanksgiving over with so we can get to the real holidays. You know, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, National Coquito Day, all the classics. The main reason I'm so excited about the holiday season is that it has the best movies. Let's be honest, how many of you went and saw a Thanksgiving movie last weekend? On the other hand, we're already getting incredible Christmas movies such as The Holdovers, which had its wide theatrical release this past week. The Holdovers follows Paul Hunnam, played by Paul Giamatti, as an ancient history teacher at a New England boarding school, tasked with looking after students with nowhere to go for winter break. Alongside Paul, we have the breakout role of Dominic Sessa, who plays the troublemaking student Angus, and Divine Joy Randolph as the school chef, Mary Lamb. Now, you're probably thinking, a film revolving around the relationship between students and a teacher at a prep school set in the winter. Where have I heard of this before? Yes, it's fair to say this film seems similar to Dead Poets Society at first glance, but it is far more of a spiritual successor than a ripoff. Both use the setting of the East Coast prep school to point towards the often found mental health issues in academia and look into the conflicts that privilege asserts upon itself. However, the movies diverge due to the balance between drama and comedy. Dead Poets Society is primarily characterized by its emotional moments that even make me tear up, whereas The Holdovers establishes connections between the characters through lighthearted comedy more than tragedy. That's not to say that there isn't a good chunk of heartbreaking scenes and tragic backstories, but the characters grow more through their antics and moments of laughter than their shared tears. All of these actors give their A game in this film, and this movie requires them to do so off the premise alone. With only 3 of them to accompany each other, the story relies on the conflict inherent in a stubborn professor dealing with a high schooler with daddy issues. Paul Giamatti, generally known as a character actor in film, served brilliantly as a tough but well-meaning protagonist. Likewise, Dominic Sessa effortlessly plays off of Paul, giving an incredible, empathetic performance in his on-screen debut. Divine Joy Randolph rounds out the trio by giving one of the most heartbreaking and best supporting performances that you'll see this year. The film especially excels in its cinematography, and the snowy setting isn't the only reason. Director Alexander Payne and cinematographer Egil Bruld tried to replicate its 1970 setting by emulating the composition style, movement techniques, and equipment commonly used at the time, even going as far as shooting on vintage cameras. The team especially took great inspiration from The Graduate, and viewers can easily see the connection when comparing the frames. However, I'd argue that the style of The Holdovers takes its greatest inspiration from the soft landscapes and gentle tunes we associate with Christmas time. Even the hellish scenario of being stuck with your history teacher for an entire winter break doesn't seem as daunting with the lush forests and wintry landscape setting. With its heartfelt performances and cozy vintage feel, The Holdovers will be deemed a Christmas classic in the coming years. Let us know what you think at Sneak Peek TV. Now for a quick commercial break.
Hey Melody, have you seen Priscilla yet?
Yes, and I have to say, I think I prefer Austin Butler's Elvis more.
What? How can you not love Jacob Elordi?
Look, Elordi was great, but how can you beat someone who did an Elvis impression so much that he couldn't stop for months?
You make a good point, but I think we should let Samia and Simi settle this debate for us.
Good idea. Take it away.
Hi, sneak peekers. So, what we got here is the Battle of the Elvises, or as I like to call it, the Battle of the Elvi. But, so we got Tommy right here. She's going to be, she's on Team Austin Butler, and Simi right here. She's Team Jacob
Elordi.
Yes, that's right. Take it away.
Alrighty, so I'm Samia, and I'm here to tell you why Austin Butler had the better Elvis performance. In Baz Luhrmann's hit Elvis, Austin Butler's transformation was remarkable. He was able to showcase the musicality, the extravagance, and even the complexities that this man had. And viewers get to understand how he was so iconic and why he was so iconic, regardless of what you may think of him as a person.
Thank you. Seems like my opponent brings up some very worthy points, but here's the thing about Miss Sofia Coppola and the work that she put in Priscilla. My man, hold on, ref, give me my points,
Back it up.
Okay, thank you very much. If I can continue. So, here's the thing. With Elvis, Jacob Elordi gives us a perspective that we've never seen before. If I wanted to see some over-the-top Southern little thing, then I could just go on YouTube and search up Elvis's Greatest Hits 1969. Please. And can we talk about how Jacob Elordi looks more like Elvis than Austin Butler did?
Did Jesse Eisenberg look like Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Work? Did Andrew Garfield look like Ed Severin in The Social Network? That's one of the greatest biopics in the entire world. Austin Butler doesn't need to look the part to capture how good what Elvis was.
Your whole thing with Mark Zuckerberg is irrelevant because who cares about a tech bro? We're talking about the king of rock and roll. You really want a man, if I can get a zoom up real quick, you really want a man who looks like handsome Squidward to be Elvis? Really? Really? Can I get a zoom up on this? Handsome Squid. He looks more like handsome Squidward than he does Elvis. What a shame. What an embarrassment.
Yeah.
Okay, does that matter? Okay, Elvis had a lot of problems later in his life. You only see the younger side of Elvis, like pre-divorce, before he was neck deep into his addiction, before any of the horrible things that happened.
Let me tell you something.
Okay? You see all parts of his life. You only see a segment of his life in Priscilla,
May I speak?
which is through the eyes of Priscilla. Okay, I'll let you speak for a moment.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Let that happen.
So tonight, I'm here to defend my man, Jacob Elordi, because that's not the point of his performance. His performance is to show the piece of poop husband that he was to Priscilla. We get to see it through her eyes for once. For once, we don't get to see the big man who's on set. We get to see the man who was a bad father, the man who tore his family apart.
If you bother to watch Elvis, you would know you also get to see how he is as a bad father and a neglectful husband. Austin portrayed all of it. He portrayed all of it.
His opinion is invalid because at the end of the day, this camera's like,
That's all you have to say about it.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up right here. Oh, I gotta pick a winner. Okay, so let's do this. So the winner for this segment, I'm gonna have to give it to Simi. Somnia, you fought the battle hard, but the battle was lost. Simi, everybody.
You voted for victory today.
Slander.
You voted
You
for
support
victory
slander.
today.
You don't
voted
support real
for
arguments.
the man that looks like actual Elvis. Thank you, everybody.
Let us know what you think, sneak peekers.
I don't support slander.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Wow, Melody, that was a pretty good impression. Maybe you should be the next Elvis.
Thanks, Sophia, but I think we've decided that Simi has that covered.
Either way, I think we can both agree that Jacob Elordi has come a long way from the kissing booth.
Absolutely. And lucky for us, Sydney was able to interview Emerald Fennell, the writer and director of Elordi's other new film, Saltburn.
Let's check it out.
Oh, hi, I'm Sydney, and today I'm sitting with the director and writer of Saltburn, Emerald Fennell. What was your inspiration for writing this story?
I just wanted to write something about desire, about looking and wanting, and why it is that all of us, particularly now, I think partly with the internet, but also after COVID, the relationship we have with the things that we want and how we get them.
And this location is just incredible. I mean, the mansion was just so cool. What was it like turning it into Saltburn and really anchoring the film around this place?
Oh, it was incredible. It was really hard to find because we wanted to find something that had never been filmed in before, so we all had the feeling like Oliver had of like getting a peep into this world. And so finding it was really difficult, but when we did, you know, it was amazing because, I mean, the family and the people who worked there were really, really supportive. They really loved the film and were really interested in it, and they let us take over parts of the house and completely redress them, remake them, because it was very important to me that it all happened there, that when you look out of every window you can see the same views, that there's no cheating, that you're not cutting from one room to the next and you're in a completely different place 2 weeks later. You know, as an audience you don't pick up on it maybe, but I always feel like we needed to have all of these like long shots, long one-ers, and so we needed a house that would let us do that, and it was just amazing. We were there for 7 weeks, and it was beautiful. I mean, it was really, really hard because it was very, very hot, and it was still COVID, so we were still doing COVID safety, and so they were kind of like physically quite grueling. But it was amazing, and you know, it's amazing how quickly you get used to the beauty. That was an important part of it too. I kept at the beginning, I was like, this is your house, there's nothing impressive about this. And it's the same with Oliver. He gets there, he's in awe, and then, you know, 2 weeks in, his legs are open, he's smoking a cigarette, and it's just part of his life now. You know, we all adjust so fast.
Exactly, especially like surrounded in such an area.
Yeah.
What do you really want audiences to take away from seeing this film?
So difficult. I mean, you know, it. I think I just want them to be. I want them to kind of know that I want them to feel sort of like physically part of the film, like physically shaken. That to be kind of aware that they've experienced a film very differently to the person next to them. That, you know, that if you kind of have to watch this film in a room full of people, because part of it is the realization of how different all of us are, the way that we all respond to it. And, you know, whether you're arguing about a plot point that you perceived or a character that you liked and somebody else didn't, it's that kind of constant thing of hoping that people feel kind of complicit in what they've just seen, and kind of like, you know, if they're aroused or repulsed, whatever it is, that it's interesting and different for every person, and you know, that nobody feels like they necessarily watched the same film. That's why, you know, that's why it's so exciting making a film. It's you've got a very kind of contained thing, and everyone can, and it's can be reasonably sort of enigmatic and reasonably expressive, and then it gives room for people to argue about it.
And my last question is just, what advice do you have for any emerging female filmmakers?
Be resolute. Be kind always, but know that if you feel something very, very strongly, that you're right and it's worth fighting for. And also, you don't need to pander to anyone.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of energy, like sugaring the pill for everyone. It takes up a lot of energy, explaining yourself, making yourself approachable, and all of the things that you need to be. You must always be kind and wonderful, but we don't have to pander to anyone anymore, I don't think. We just go and do our job.
Oh, that's just giving me goosebumps. Look, Pamela. Oh, no.
I don't think I'll ever go home again.
Thanks, Sydney. Saltburn releases theaters nationwide on November 22nd.
If you get the chance to check it out, let us know your thoughts on social media. Until then, we'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Stay tuned, you won't want to miss it. Hey, Sophia, which one of us do you think would win if we were in the Hunger Games?
Well, that depends. Do we have sponsors? Is it a quarter quell? What districts are we from?
It sure seems like you know a lot about the Hunger Games. Maybe you'd win.
Me? No, I don't know too much. Just enough to give up early. Luckily, we do have a few other Hunger Games experts in the studio tonight that would probably last longer.
That's right. Sydney, AK, Trinity, and Carol are here to talk about the upcoming entry into the franchise, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Take it away.
Hey sneak peekers, it's Sydney.
I'm Erin.
I'm Trinity. I'm Carol.
And today we're giving you all things Hunger Games. So we're going to start off with a little summary of the newest Hunger Games film.
Okay, so this Friday, the new Hunger Games film is released, but it's new, but it's a prequel, so it will take place like several decades before the original, so we won't see the return of our beloved characters, but there is a return of the Hanging Tree song, so there's lots to look forward to, and it's basically going to tell the origin story of President Snow. He's a very interesting character, I believe. I'm very excited for this. I don't know about you guys. So that's pretty much the premise of it. I don't know much, but I'm very excited for Friday.
Yes, I already got my tickets. I'm so excited.
Me too.
So we're going to take it a little bit back in time. There are so many movies for us to talk about. So we're going to start off with a few questions about our memory of the Hunger Games. So to start off, does anybody have a favorite movie?
Catching Fire.
Catching Fire, for sure. I think I agree with them.
I'm a Catching Fire girl too.
Wow, look at us.
Pretty easy though.
True. Okay, so from those movies, do you have a favorite moment that stands out to you?
I like all of the moments.
All of the moments.
Yeah.
I almost did the same thing, so that's so
because
crazy.
we love that movie.
I like Katniss and Peeta on the beach. Always.
Yes,
Always.
me too.
It's my go-to rewatch moment ever.
And then, of course, our genius, Peeta Malark, with his if it weren't for the baby moment.
He's way smarter than people give him credit for.
True.
For sure.
My favorite is, I just rewatched the first movie, so my memory is very much on that. Mine is when Haymitch stumbles out. When Peeta's like, oh, it's like, we need to learn. And then Haymitch like stumbles out, and we're like, the audience is like, oh my gosh, who is he? I love Haymitch. So, okay. So does anybody have a favorite character from all the movies?
Peeta, of course. You have to go with the boy with the bread.
Yeah, I'm thinking of going with Peeta too, but I also really like Finnick.
I was about to say.
That was gonna be my answer.
True. I love Finnick. He is such a great actor.
He's so talented.
His talent is what really spoke to me.
It's true. It's true. You see the talent.
I saw the talent.
I saw the vision. Yeah.
Okay.
And I also think that Finnick is one of the best adapted characters from the screen. I feel like Peeta is much more interesting in the books, but Finnick was like okay in the books. But I think that Sam Claflin gives him like such a idea, and I
love everything Sim Class.
Yeah, I simply like love him in the movies, and Finnick just grew as a character.
I agree. Okay, and then the last question is: do you guys have a favorite like memory from your childhood from the Hunger Games? We all kind of grew up on the trilogy, so any moments?
So my first time reading the Hunger Games books was actually this year. I took out my wisdom teeth, and I couldn't do anything, couldn't move, so I read like all of the books in 5 days, and that was really exciting. And also I remember that there was this 1 week several years ago where I watched like every day Catching Fire, so I watched it like 7 times. It was amazing.
I think for me, I was like a huge Hunger Games fan, like back in when I was in like 5th grade. That's when I read all the trilogy and stuff. And I really wanted like a bow and arrow for my birthday, so I finally got one. And I would practice like my archery skills like in the backyard. So, yeah, like I was big on like wanting to be Katniss back then. So yeah, that was my moment, like my childhood like moment.
I used to write a lot of fan fiction, and I almost won a Wattpad award in about 2014 for my my romance fanfic. It was Peta and Gale. So I really I put my own spin on it. But
what was it called?
I forgot the name.
It's okay. Yeah, it happens.
I'm sure it was good. I'm sure past me would have named that really well.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, my favorite memory, I grew up on it. I read if anybody else had AR points in elementary school, I got all my AR points from the Hunger Games. So my favorite memory is when I was in I don't even know what grade I was in, but we had like the character days for like Spirit Week. And do you remember like the costume where it's like the red and the silver with like the number on it and like the training room? Yeah. So my dad ironed on a like District 12 thing. I have a photograph of me.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad made this shirt. Thanks, Dad. I know you're watching this.
So good.
My hair was also braided. So that's my favorite memory. I
got 11 on the training.
Yes, it was beautiful. So that's my favorite memory. Okay, so we still have a little bit of extra time. So now we're going to have a little generator and see who our favorite character. We're going to be presented 2 characters, and we're going to pick who's our favorite and give a little reason why. So to start off, we have Beatty, and then President Alma Coin.
Beatty. Isn't Coin like a?
She sucks.
Yeah,
Low-key.
she's
evil.
But she was. I really liked her in the beginning, but then she was like very I don't like that. And Beatty's just chill.
Yeah.
He's chill.
He's smart too.
Okay, now we have Gale and President Alma Coin. Gale. But Gale's kind of. Gale turned bad, right?
I don't like Gale either.
No, he killed Prim.
So Joanna and Rue. I think it's.
Oh,
this is hard.
I'm picking Joanna.
I'm picking Rue.
I think I'm picking Joanna.
Why are you picking Joanna?
Because she's cool.
Yeah.
What does Rue do except for D-wording? Like,
so true. So
like,
true.
I think Joanna's is.
Wyrus and Effie.
I love Effie.
I love
Me
Effie.
too.
Wasn't Wyrus one TikTok?
Yeah.
I like that.
But Effie is just so iconic. I love her butterfly dress from Catching Fire, and all of her outfits.
Like her
except
hair
like in
too.
Mockingjay when she's like poor, but
yeah.
Okay. I have Finnick and don't remember his name, but he is like the second
he is
game maker.
He's like a
Plutarch Heavenspeed.
He was the conspirator, and he helped Katniss a lot throughout Catching Fire. And then like we saw him in Mockingjay, and he was like with the rebels and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He was cool, but
it's Finnick.
I'm still picking
Finnick.
It's
Yeah.
Finnick, 100%.
Let's be real.
Okay. Next one. We have Gale and Caesar.
Caesar kind of slays.
I love that. Did anybody watch the remakes? Like, there's like a parody channel on YouTube, and they did like a parody song where it was like
I
Hunger Games.
I once watched a movie called Starving Games.
Yes.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
And it was just so bad.
Wasn't it inappropriate? I was like 12. when
Probably,
these
but
were
I
coming out.
was so many times.
Okay, well, I think that might be all from us, sneak peekers. Make sure you come in next week. We're here every Tuesday.